Welcome to NFL Football Fuck Around. I'm Nate.
I'm Timmy, the world's biggest Cowboy fan.
Today we will be talking about the NFL Draft. Recently wrapped up a few days ago. We're going to be talking about teams we loved, a team we hated, and one sneaky pick that we really dug. Timmy, why don't you start us out with a team that you loved in the draft?
It's going to be the team who lost in the Super Bowl, the 49ers. That team they got the extra draft pick, and I think they did everything they needed to do. They won that draft, and they won a defensive playmaker. They got that guy in Eric Reed. Dude's got big-time play potential. You lose Golston, you plug in Reed day one. And then they got the dude Tank, the guy from Florida State.
Great fucking name.
I mean, obviously, Tank. And then the dude is just like, when I watch him play, like, it just like when 49ers drafted him, I was like, that just makes so much sense. He just plays like a 49ers player. I mean,
yeah,
he has that mentality. Like,
very 49ers pick.
It's what the 49ers do. And, like, just everything they do from Harbaugh, like, they just, like, they draft a certain way. They're very just to the point. And I
Lattimore, too.
Lattimore, like I said,
Basically redshirting Lattimore.
Exactly. Like, you get a perfect situation for Lattimore. You know, you got Frank Gore there. He can learn by him. Think about it this. He's got 2 knee injuries. Frank Gore was the same way. The dude never played in college because he had 2 ACL injuries. So Frank Gore knows what the kid's going through. He's been there, done that, proven he's been a top 20 running back probably of all time, arguably.
49ers are hoping a little bit of history repeating.
Exactly. So, I mean, Lattimore's in a great situation. He has no pressure. He can come in there, and Jim Harbaugh, he's in a great organization that can let him heal, and they've already said it. He's going to get a chance to heal, and Lattimore, whether people like it or not, if he heals, he's a top 10 talent, and they're hitting a home run with the 4th-round pick, which is great.
My team, NFC team as well, I loved Ted Big Balls Thompson and the Green Bay Packers. So many people were crowing for the Green Bay Packers. You gotta draft Lacy in the first round. You gotta draft Lacy in the first round. Just crazy about the running back. Ted Thompson sat back, said, no, we're gonna wait. We're not gonna draft a running back in the first round. It's not a premium position. They got the guy, Tony Jones from UCLA, great penetrating 3-4 in. Then guess what? Second round rolls around. Who's still there? The big back, Lacy. Not only that, 4th round rolls around, and they get who I think will be this year's Doug Martin, Jonathan Franklin at a UCLA. Great running back, a lot of balance, can catch the ball, pass protect. Packers fucking nailed it, in my opinion.
Lacy, I don't think they nailed it because I don't think Lacy fits that system. I think the Packers are a system. They want to keep it wide open. You just paid Aaron Rodgers a lot of money. Lacy cannot be in a wide open system. When he comes in, you're going to have to put in tight ends. You're going to have to put in running backs in front of him. And it makes the Packers offense more predictable. I think you just negate what Aaron Rodgers is. I think Franklin,
they've been missing,
I think Franklin is there. I think Lacy's going to be good for you in short yards only. I think it's for a 2nd-round pick for a team.
I think what they've been missing is that attitude that, fuck you, we're going to get 3 yards, we're going to blow through you. But
you know what I say?
I like what they did.
You know what I say that? Fuck you, have Aaron Rodgers. He can get 3 yards on his own. I'd still spread him out with Aaron Rodgers and all these let's let Aaron Rodgers do his thing.
All right. Now, a team we hated. I'm going to come out and say it. I hated the Patriots draft. I think Bill Belichick has crawled up his own ass so far that at this point there's no escaping. I understand he has relationships with these teams in college. He has a relationship with Rutgers that's very well publicized. He had a relationship with Urban Meyer at Florida. He picked a lot of their players. You're going to pick, 3 players from the Rutgers defensive backfield? I don't know. I don't buy it. Bill Belichick's really into picking these guys that no one's ever heard of and kind of being like, well,
but if
you guys are playing checkers, or I'm playing chess.
If anyone makes that work better than anyone in the NFL, it is Bill Belichick. He finds that player that you've never heard of. Bill Belichick is about depth and his schemes. He doesn't give a shit if you're a star. Belichick gets the most out of turds. He'll polish a turd right up and make it into a star.
I would argue there's only so much you can polish a turd. Bill Belichick, when was the last time he has drafted a good quarterback or a good wide receiver? I'll wait.
Hasn't for a while.
Failure. You can talk about Gronkowski. You can talk about
and Hernandez. I mean, there's
Aaron Hernandez, great players.
Stephen Ridley.
But who is the last good wideout Bill Belichick drafted?
There hasn't been any, but that's because you don't need him because Tom Brady doesn't.
Nobody.
But that is the same thing. How many? I mean, we'll have to wait. Wes Welker lucked out because he goes to Peyton Manning, so he's going to get saved from not sucking from leaving Tom Brady. But Deion Branch, there's lots of guys who leave him and want to come back because they're nothing without the man.
It's true. Patriots, though, hated it. Don't get what they're doing. Throw it out. Who you got? Team you hated?
Honestly, I have an issue with just the Jets and whole. Like, Jets and everything they do. I mean, first off, you want to talk about your 1 first-round pick, you got D. Milner. My problem with that is you traded Darrelle Revis to get D. Milner.
Fucking Revis.
You traded the... If he comes... Anyone say you want to give me the injury crap? Adrian Peterson, it's not the NFL that it once was. Guys return from knee injuries all the time. And Darrelle Revis is not a normal athlete. He was the best in this game. It was called Darrell Island for a reason. You didn't throw on
Revis Island.
Revis Island. I'm sorry about that. Revis Island, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. But there was a stat that put out that in a 5-year period, Darrelle Revis had 8 touchdowns going against him. 8. Y'all do the math on that one. That means teams don't throw at him. He doesn't get picks because quarterbacks do not challenge him.
Terrence Newman once gave up 8 touchdowns in 1 game. Little known fact, look it up. So
so you look at that, so you use one of your draft picks that you got from the team to get Milner, who's had 14 surgeries. 14. Just had one. They're questioning this guy if he's even going to be able to make it. So your solution to fixing him was with another injury-prone guy who has proven nothing. Great. If Milner can work out, there's a possibility of it, but your risk-reward there, I think I sound Darrelle Revis. And then secondly, nothing against Geno. I don't really care for him as a quarterback. I think he's a poor man's Vince Young in my mind, the way I watch him play.
Harsh.
And Vince Young, I'm sorry, we've seen how that played out for us. I mean, let's be honest here. And you have all these quarterbacks. Like, you had a quarterback controversy that you just said, you know what, I'm going to throw some more like hot sauce or whatever the hell you want to look at it. Let's just pour some more, let's just more sizzle on that fire.
Interesting number. The Jets released Tim Tebow, still have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. 5. After releasing Tim Tebow.
And I will tell this to you, ladies and gentlemen, 5 crappy quarterbacks don't make one good one.
Yeah.
David Garrard was over the hill 3 years ago. Sanchez has shown what he is. I don't know who the hell Matt Sims is. And then
I don't either.
McElroy, who Alabama quarterback, for God's sakes. I love Alabama, but they're a running team.
But he did great on his Wonderlic, right?
Oh, he did. He's a smart guy, but
so moving on.
Football.
I agree. Jets, shitty organization.
Shitty.
So who's your sleeper pick? Who was a pick late in the draft that you kind of sat there and you thought, that was a pretty smart pick?
It's interesting in this intro. I'm gonna go a weird way with this one. I actually think Pittsburgh drafting Landry Jones was very interesting, and I liked what they did because Ben Roethlisberger, I know he's there, but one thing that's a guarantee is Ben might miss 2 to 3 games a year. And that team has become more of a passing style offense. The coordinator there, Todd Haley, he likes to throw the football. So when Big Ben, the way he runs around, he gets sacked more than anybody in the NFL because Big Ben's going to hold it. You can't sack him. He takes a lot of unnecessary shots. That's who Big Ben is. You can't change that about the man. So you bring in a guy like Landry Jones. He was a quarterback in college who threw for a lot of numbers. You call them all. There was whatever you want to call him. They played in the Big 12. I know all the arguments against him. The dude doesn't have to start. He has to come in maybe once or twice a season and patch stuff together and give a team a chance to win. And that team with Pittsburgh, he can definitely do it. Landry Jones would be one to look out for.
I hate Landry Jones. I think he looks like a rapist. Makes him fit in very well in Pittsburgh, though. My pick that I really dug was to a team that I actually normally hate and despise, and I almost wish would fall off the face of the earth. Denard Robinson to the Jaguars. You're talking about a team that every year they lack severely in one thing: excitement. Never any excitement for the Jaguars. And they brought in a guy who has the potential to be really speedy, make some things happen, break some tackles, generally make the fans in Jacksonville wake up and pay attention to their team for once, and not just, be bored out of their minds. Gives Blaine Gabbert, who I think is a horrible quarterback, someone he could possibly just pitch the ball to a few times a game, make stuff happen. I like this pick for the Jaguars. Try something risky for once in your life, live a little, right?
I get the riskiness there, but at the same time, we've tried this before with players. I believe this same team tried it with a guy from Arkansas named by Matt Jones. Quarterback, 6'6", could run. That didn't really work out well. Woody Dantzler from Dallas, from Clemson. We've had a lot of these quarterbacks come in. They do these little projects with them and say, hey, can we do this? But, you know, Robinson had injury health problems at Michigan at times. He's a small dude. Yeah, and there's a lot of guys.
I like the excitement factor.
I can see the excitement factor, but teams have tried projects before. It hasn't so much panned out. We'll have to see.
Fifth round pick, though.
We'll have to see.
Fifth round pick.
We'll have to see.
If he doesn't work out, not a lot to lose. Ends up working at McDonald's. Whatever.
Okay.
It's been NFL Football Fuck Around. Thanks for joining us, talking about the draft. See you again soon.